Let's do it. 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 What's going on? 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 It's about Professor Pippage kicking his bitch on our trader A's and trying to get at it, trying to get loud. We back in the building. We back in the building. We back in the building. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to go live tonight, right now. It's kind of early in the market, but simply because I got to do around about 8 o'clock. Um, and then later on this week, I got other shit to do, so I probably won't be going live in. So I'm gonna give it to you where I got it, where I can give it to you. But outside of that, yeah, we kind of took three positions last night on AU. One of them got cooked to the downside, and the other one we smacked up some target to the top side. But just based off that weekend analysis, like we were looking at from yesterday, so far price action has not moved a whole bunch. We still waiting to see which direction the market potentially wants to go in for this week. But ultimately, right now, we just kind of stalling, slowly moving. When we looked at the news yesterday, we was looking at that yellow folder news and the potential of price action potentially trending for the week. But right now we ain't looking at too much of nothing. Looking at the daily, we were big bullish. We identified big bullish. Right now, we kind of can identify that daily range has been completed, has been created. Is where I was looking for. Created, not completed. You can say completed for the most part because we have started to pull back 2 days worth of bearish candles right up in here, creating a resistance right up top with a support right down below. So for the most part, we're gonna click out. And what we can do is we can say, okay, on a daily time frame, we broke structure here, breaking structure because right here with this structure, we're making bearish structure, lower lows and lower highs. And all of this big impulse slash expansion right up here closed above where this structure started from that was bearish. So now we're shifting the structure to somewhat bullish. So that's what clarifies this as a daily, as a breaker structure on the daily. So when we re-identify, let's see here. I'll re-identify later. I want to kind of break down the charts before I go to start moving stuff around. But ultimately, from the weekend analysis, we were saying daily was bullish. Click over to that 4 hour. 4 hours bullish. Coming from that daily support slash demand area, we still just consistently making higher highs and higher lows. We bump down to the hourly. What we're looking at here is the most recent higher low, pushing and creating that new higher high. Up a little bit for all the people in the back. New higher low, new higher high. One thing we was looking to potentially get active off of with that structure most recently broken looking left. Right in over here, I did take a buy early within the session. I saw some confluences on the lower time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes, that made me think price action was probably just gonna scoop and go bullish and do that potential breakout buy setup we was looking at last night, but it didn't. And as you can see, I got cooked to the downside for 25 of them things. Um, bumping down to the 15. 15 minutes still somewhat bearish. As we were creating lower lows and lower highs right up in here. Here was that entry from that 1 minute entry right over here. They got cooked to the downside, but I waited up a little bit late last night just to see what happened once price action came back into that structure most recently broken. I don't want to do, we can go ahead and delete this because that was an L for 25 pips. I kind of want to do a bar replay for y'all last so I can kind of show you the emotions and just what I was looking at. So we'll go back to where price action originally started from. Coming from the weekend now, like we said, price action had the potential to potentially continue to just keep going bullish once it opened up. And then we was gonna potentially take scalp buys above 68,995. I actually saw break and retest actions on the lower time frame on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute. We go ahead and bump down to that 1 minute now. So as price action gets ready to start playing, you actually see what I was saying. Hit that play button. So this is still Friday's price action. Not until we get over here do we. All right, so boom, price action has opened up for this week on Sunday. We're looking at this on a 1 minute. But up until this point, what we were seeing was, or what I was seeing was, we were bearish back from over in here where we identified that weekly or that 1 hour high, low, potential lower high failed to create lower high area, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So from this point to that point within this 1 minute range, we kind of pushed back into that high area on a 1 minute time frame, came down and did not break the low. And ever since we started breaking the lows, we started making higher highs and higher lows. Right here, we kind of did roll over and break this 1 minute structure here. But ultimately, once price action opened back up last night, it continued to go higher, 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 low. See that play button? See how that thing moves for us? speed them up. What's those a 2? But we ultimately did not break this low to start off. We came out and broke this high, and then we pulled back a little bit more, then we pushed up higher. So you know what I'm saying? When I started looking at this on the lower top, I was like, okay, I do see a little high right there, a little pullback Aroni. I think that price action actually broke this high. So once it finally came back one more time, I hopped in. You know what I'm saying? High lows on the 1 minute time frame, not necessarily much movement on the I think right here, bam, was my entry. And then price action just took off to the downside. And like I said, from the weekend analysis, that was a possibility that price action could do. It could pull back into that structure most recently broken looking left from the hourly time frame, right in up in here. And yeah, so first position got cooked as we entered right up in there. We just watched it come all the way down, break structure looking left, um, tag me out, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just lost. But I got something waiting on the ass. I did use dynamic risk to this entry right up here at the top simply because I said if I'm getting faked out or I didn't really necessarily feel that it was FOMO simply because I saw higher highs and higher lows on the 1 minute time frame. But yeah, I hopped in. But I did also tell myself that if price action happened to stop me out with this position right up here, and then it did pull back to that structure most recently broken looking left, that we were going to take buys from price action or depending on the price action reacted once it came back into that area. So about 10:30, 11 o'clock, close to 12, just sitting there watching price action. I'm like, that does look like it's going to come right to me. And eventually, keep playing. Eventually, price action did come down there and let your boy in. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the 1 minute. Then I'm gonna also go back down to. I was thinking about entering right here once I seen this pull down and just immediately shoot back up to the top side. I was like, ooh, let me get in, let me get in, let me get in. And for some reason, I was just like, nah, it's only a couple more pips down here to where I really want to get in from. So I'm gonna forego and skip entering right here on the 1 minute time frame because I am watching it live when it's actually happening. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't. And I waited and I waited, and the patients were in my favor last night. Wicked straight on up in that thing. So bam, we in there on the first position and the second position of market execution buys. I did not have a buy limit set. So on the 1 minute, we see price action just leak into that area. And come right into that structure most recently broken. Now, I did not enter based off of what price action looked like right here on the 1 minute, even though it does look very pretty nice little sniper entry right into that area. But based off of the candles from the 15, I think it was a 15. Yeah. So what I saw was this candle come down here, tap into that area, and left a little wick. And because of the way the very next candle closed, this one right here, the way that candle closed is what really kind of gave me that confidence to. I actually want to think I saw it on a 5 minute because I think I was already in at this point. Uh, there was another candle that I saw that closed. I think it was these right up in here. But yeah, because by the time this candle started printing bullish, I was already in two positions. But this candle tapped into my zone looking left. This candle, not a whole bunch of momentum following it. And this looks even more exhausted as far as looking at these candles come down nice and big on the 5 minute time frame. We see price action continue to drop in there. For some reason, as we tap into the level I'm interested in, candles just start dropping in volume, dropping in size, dropping in, got rejections at the end on the bear side. So I was like, yeah, let me in, baby. But go ahead and hit that play button, and we see price action just got up out of there. Now, right here, I had them trail stops at this point. Stops were right above. Let me see what time it was because I actually went to sleep on this trade and woke back up on it. I had them trail the stops at this point. Before I went to sleep, somewhere right at this 68,400 where I really believe it was at 68,400 was the trail of stops. Went to sleep, woke back up, saw we was in profits. I was like, oh shit, price action coming back down. So once I saw price action come back down, when I woke up like 2 o'clock, right 2:30, 3 o'clock, right at the London session open, I trailed the stops to right underneath here. Then yeah, I think I woke up one more time. I don't know. I might have been just paranoid because I did close off one of these positions right up here and then let the other one run. And then by the time I came back, I was just looking at, well, yeah, I was out of trade by the end. So I must have just closed them all right up in there. But first position or the first entry was closed at 30 pips, and the second one was closed at 24 pips. So wherever 30 pips and 24 pips is at. So first position got closed somewhere like right up in there, and then the second position at 24 pips. And yeah, so the loss that I made here, I made back with one of these trades over here, and then the other one was extra profit. And that's just potentially where I was at. Yeah, I was looking forward to break Well, like I said, when we was doing the weekend analysis, we weren't looking for no pullbacks. We wanted all pip and dip action. Pip and dip. Pip and dip mean price action, push, 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 push. We're not interested in any retracements. I think it was because of the fact that I was sleeping that I didn't really get out of the market right here. I let it push up one more time. I didn't know it was going to push up one more time, but what I was basing it off of was we created that Asian high, that Asian low, and what I was seeing was if price action broke this Asian high cleanly without any retracements, then yeah, I would have just held until we hit that target. But because we had this push pullback, I was real ready to get out. Pip and dip rules. Take whatever the market gives you, get on out of that thing. There was definitely a scalping technique, but I'm glad I did because at this point I was no longer in the trading. When I came back to the charts and saw price action had to return all the way back down to entry, I was like, yes. Click over to the Telegram. I can show you the entries. Pause that for a second. Click over to the Telegram. I can show you the actual entries from last night. What we at? So that was two buy positions. This was the first entry where I got cooked. Price action, you know what I'm saying, I was making them higher highs and higher lows. And as it came back to kind of refill this little imbalance that was on a 1 minute time frame, I took the buy thinking we were going to continue to go higher. It actually dropped and put me in on the second position. So we were pushing, dropped, got trailed out as price broke the low right over here. And then as price action came back into structure most recently broken 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 minute, I was in there, sniper, sniper, sniper. There's two positions actually open right here. The thing that worried me the most was where I knew I had to put my stops, which would have been below 1 hour structure. So this was a pretty big stop for me. One reason that I accepted this stop was because as I zoomed out to the higher time frames, the second position that I had open for this, I had a huge target up to the top side. And then for this first little position, targets were right up here at 69.025. But yeah, as price action came down, so at this point with this stop loss here, I believe one of the positions is already closed at that 30 pip mark. And then this was the runner. I did end up trailing stops up on here again, but you know, when I came back to the charts and looked at it again, I was like, nah, let me just go ahead and collect. The original plan was pip and dip, so let's pip and dip and let's get up out of that thing. But yeah, that was pretty much it on me. So for tonight, I am looking to see if we can get rid of all this. We already showed y'all the gas. We can get rid of the structure most recently broken because price action has already came back. The thing that I take away from this is if the gas was going to come from this area where price action reached within the market to get us up out of there, it would have. I saw a push and a pullback, and then we started back going bearish. So I don't expect price action tonight for the most part to come out and oh, it's because we're in bar replay. Let's see what the hell going on with price. We passed, but yeah, go hit that play button. But I am expecting price action to come back down simply because this move here did not break structure looking left. So I am looking for price action to come down into this entry right here. I do not have this entry into the queue. I want to see if we get retracement action and how it actually retraces and gets back into the zone. Kind of the same thing as this setup right up in here. So this is what I'm looking to execute from tonight, 68.115 area on AU. And yeah, just looking for continuation buys back into this higher time frame supply area that we got to identify from the daily, from the weekly time frames to see what type of reaction we get once price action pushes into this area right up in here. Clicking over to GJ. GJ was a mess when we were trying to, let's get out of this bar replay. I only took trades on AU last night, didn't take trade on anything else, but looking at GJ, GJ from the weekend analysis was, the structure was for me, I just didn't like it. So for me, it will be pretty much the long game. What in the hell? Come on, baby. We get in when we walk down to lower time frames. But yeah, so ultimately, just still pretty much waiting to see what GJ has to offer for this week. Currently, where price action is right now, we just consolidating on the 15-minute time frame. We ain't going anywhere. We're not breaking highs. We're not breaking lows. We have already created some internal liquidity right here with these equal lows. So I'm kind of expecting one of these type moves. If we're gonna continue to go bullish, fake to the downside, grab this internal liquidity here before getting up this way and possibly continue to go bullish. That's what I'll be potentially waiting for tonight on GJ. I do remember seeing some red for the news yesterday on GJ when we looked through it at the end of the weekend analysis video. So potentially it could be that red photo news that kick up for us and then put us, to give us that fake to the down, that sell to buy type of price action. We could get the buy to sell to buy, um, manipulation type of price action, pump fake the ties, come down, grab that liquidity from the lows, and then get back up out of there. So I'm gonna be looking for all them type of combinations of price action tonight to see if the market, if that's what the market's going to give out for us potentially get into the market. But overall, consolidating on the 15, bullish on the hourly, and the 4 hourly and the daily time frame on GG. Clicking on the GU has come back into 1 hour support right up in here, and we are reacting bullish. I wanted to see, because of the way we came down into this 1 hour support, if we continue to go short, I want to potential breakout shorts below 1.27680. As we can see right now, price action is reacting back to the top side from that 1 hour support area within the market. So if we don't start seeing closures above, let me see, what is that? 1.28175. We don't start seeing closures back above there, we could see this market continue just to read, not necessarily a trend reversal or a market structure shift, it's just a retracement back deeper within. Therefore, our range is kind of big at this point, especially if we break below this area. So potentially I'll be looking for, if we're bullish, higher highs and higher lows starting to come down, break 15-minute structure here, came back into 1 hour support here. So if we start to see this type of thing, price action comes back to the structure most recently broken, or if it comes down deeper into this little 1 hour imbalance we got identified at 1.26695, we could be waiting to see if price action makes it back down this far and then get the fumbling with them keys and give us a bullish scenario from the bullish setup from the downside. Any of these higher lows potentially could be our entry to resume back into that bullish structure of higher highs and higher lows from the higher time frame. So two key areas I'll be looking to strike from tonight. 1.26990. If we blow through there, then I'm looking for 1.26695. If we blow through there, then we potentially waiting to come all the way back down here. So probably put a little dynamic risk buy limit entry there, as well as right down here. Or we can just wait to see if price action breaks here first, potentially take the shorts and then not worry about the buy. So a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different angles we could attack GU from tonight. We just got to be willing to sit back and be patient and see what the market is willing to give us. We have opened up for that Asian session tonight. We came out going bullish, breaking above kind of 15-minute structure here. So kind of delicate at this point, delicate situation. So yeah, fall back on your rules, fall back on what has gotten you so far. For me, I'm waiting to see, do we come back down, break structure, break lows looking left? If we do not, then potentially we could resume back bullish on the lower time frames. If I move them keys, get back up out of there, go push for a new high. So that's what we're looking for on GU. Clicking over to UJ. UJ is consolidating. From the weekend analysis, we had a daily was bullish, 4 hour bullish, 1 hour bullish. We pushed up from Friday's price action. We did open up last week or this week and we did react bearish, but we took out some lows right over here, but we immediately returned and pushed back bullish. So for UJ tonight, I'm looking to see if we close below this little blue line here. And if we do, potentially some breakout shorts back deep within that 1 hour support, kind of like we saw over on GU, break below structures right over here, come back and retest deep within 1 hour support. Looking for that same kind of setup within UJ, but I need to see price action prove it first. I need to see some movement from these candles in the direction I want to get active in. Potentially looking at a 1 to 2.18 ratio on this setup. Not the best ratio, but with 73 pips to the downside, if you are able to hop into this trade and capture 73 pips with the right lot size, man, please. I ain't trying to hear. Yeah, you could be done trading for the rest of the week. If this is just scoop bullish, let it scoop bullish time. UJ ain't my main squeeze anyway, so it is what it is. Over to UCAD. UCAD, we had UCAD bearish on all time frames, 15 minutes, kind of consolidating. What we were looking for is to see if we get some retracement trades back to the top side, closing above 1 hour structure right over here. Right now, we just chopping, so ain't too much of nothing going on UCAD. See what we got. Right in up on per. support now here, a little support area within the market. So from the high to the low, resistance, price action was no longer push bullish. Resistance here, come down. Price action no longer push bearish. Support. So we're just chopping within that range. Yeah, based on the higher time frame, I would love to see some pullback action to take continuation shorts. But right now, we need to get out of this little range we stuck up within, and then just go from there. So, I'm waiting to at least see the close above that 1 hour resistance, potentially a pullback, potentially like to see them go deep once we close above that 1 hour structure. What gives me the gas or give me the intel to be like, yeah, let's get in if we don't break these lows once we come back down. So if and when we break this 1 hour resistance right over here, however far this start to pull back, no matter if it's 382, 50%, 70%, once it gets to fumbling with them keys, I'm in there for the main squeeze, back up to the top side, back into a 4 hour supply. So we're gonna see if you can give us that scenario. If it don't, then I'm just keep watching, bro. Yeah. Clicking over to gold. Gold, I am waiting on gold. I'm in the bushes on gold ass. Um, Mostly, I am kind of nervous about this setup right here, simply because the 4 hour is bearish from the high to the low. So potentially, this all just could be retracements coming back into whatever. But yeah, this could leak and continue to go down and make that new lower low. So that's what makes me nervous to have a buy limit here. I do not have a buy limit there just yet. I want to see how price action comes down and get the fumbling with them keys before I'll probably market execute on gold last time. Seeing how last week I had pretty much a similar entry or setup to just like this right here, right over here, and I had entries down here, and price action did not put me in. So, yeah, if we come down and get the fumbling with them keys like right over here, then yeah, go down to the 15 minute. Let's go back to the hourly so I can line it up for everybody in the back who can't seem to put that little orange area right there. So we come down to the 15 minute right here. This is the area I'm looking to execute from. Price action is lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Get the funnel with them keys, flipped over, closed above, low resistance right here, pull back, did not break the low. So if we had the buy limit entry that would have got executed from right up in here, then excellent, perfect. If not, then we want to see price action come down, return, do not break the low, and then potentially a second entry. Had I been, really wanting to get in, second entry could have been from right there, and then watch it push into the highs, trail stops, all that good stuff. You know how we get down, but outside of that, man, ain't too much movement didn't happen into the market. And when we see that yellow folder news, um, when we see that yellow folder news coming into the market like that at the beginning of the week, that's potentially how price action is gonna look. So we could just keep trickling and keep trickling and keep trickling. I ain't really interested in hopping in those shorts on AU. So if it shorts off, probably just gonna let it ride. Um, but if it get down, he get the fun with them keys, I'm probably gonna get in that buy. Like I said, I do not like this big ass stop. So yeah, tonight we probably gonna have to just ride with it. Probably won't do full risk here because this 58 pip stop is way outside of the trading plan. Trading plan we normally want 20 pips and below for a stop loss. Anytime I hop into or looking for a trade setup and my setup is more than 20 pips on the stop loss, I'm going dynamic risk. If we can get 20 pips and below, so if I thought this little area right here was going to hold up in the market for price action not to blow right through it. The 24 pip, I couldn't tell you if I would go full risk here, but I'd be real close to it. Um, yeah, but lower than 20 pips, 19.3, yeah, I'm full risk. I'm getting in and I'm going for the kill. But because we had 58 and some change, yeah, we just gonna dynamic risk that thing. We can get what we can get. We gonna squeeze every lemon, every juice drop, everything we can get out of the market. We just compound until one day we're gonna look up and we're gonna be like, okay, that's what we was trying to do. We up there now. Now we can just, one trade a week that thing and be up out of there because of the lot size we will be at. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. Like I said, news ain't really changed much, charts ain't really changed much. Just wanted to come on and just give some potential thought processes as far as what we're looking for the potential rest of the week, start of the week, Monday. Today is Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday. So we're potentially looking to see if how these analysis hold up into the London session of later on this evening. But that's all I got for this one. If you're watching, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm out of that thing. Peace.